going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, you guys are having a great day so far. Happy Tuesday. All right, I've got 3 cases for you tonight. The first one is kind of a long one. It's one from Judge Simpson today. Hopefully, you got not too many of you have seen it. I know some of you probably have, but it's a good one. It starts as a landlord-tenant case. Doesn't end that way, but it starts that way. Let's see. The one we have. Then I've got a Karen that's just absolutely going off on the judge. Essentially, she ends up getting kicked out of court. It's always funny. And then the last one I have is a little interesting. A little interesting. Let's just say that might be a little heavy. I'll give the alert before it happens. Yeah. All right. I think I've rambled enough. Okay. All right. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
River Ridge versus Timothy Kelly.
Morning, Your Honor.
My goodness. Take your appearances, please.
Rachel Dornbush, Paladin's Law, 7301 on behalf of plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
I'm Tim Kelly, yes.
All right.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No, not a problem. Ms. Dornbush, you guys can have a seat. Ms. Dornbush, it is indeed a pleasure seeing you actually in person and not in a little box on my screen.
Mr. Pellets, yesterday that my last appearance in your courtroom was the last day we had in-person proceedings before COVID. This Friday, March 13th, 2020, and we were in this courtroom because we had to
Go back and forth.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
It's been a while.
7 months ago.
Yes. Okay, so where are we on this case?
Your Honor, I think today is the date and time for, a settlement conference.
Yes.
As of the last date, Your Honor, given plaintiff an opportunity to file a reply to Mr. Kelly's answer, which got done, setting forth deficiencies in the answer, what I would call admissions in his answer, citing additional grounds on which the plaintiff has to terminate Mr. Kelly's safety. The most serious of which, Your Honor, is based on the revocation of Mr. Kelly's driver's license, which I believe occurred in 2022. And he's certainly been driving his car in the community over the last 2 years, and that violates Michigan statute and the lease and rules and regulations clearly state that a violation of Michigan statute or any other ordinance, local, state, or federal, is grounds for termination of the tenancy. So I don't know that there's a tribal issue in this case, Your Honor. For that reason, we would be asking for a judgment session today.
All right, right off the bat, that's a bit of a stretch. Now, yeah, you can assume that he's been driving that car, but I don't know how you bring that up in a termination of tenancy case. I mean, the car's parked on his lawn, right? That's why they're here. For those of you that did not see this already, he, for whatever reason, parks his car on his lawn. It gets weird. You'll hear all the details, but that was just stretch. Bringing in, he doesn't have a license, and I'm sure that he's been driving as that's your argument. Dornbush, I like you, but you got to do a little better than that, at least in my opinion.
I can't hear a word she's saying. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Like 40% hearing. Trying to get a hearing aid right now. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Got Katie Zed and K-Far both in the house tonight. Welcome, both of you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Those are different than ours.
Yeah.
Like this?
No.
Like this. Got it. Sorry. That's much better. Thank you.
I was going to have you do it the other way. Sit here and laugh. Anyway, all right. Could you briefly surmise what you just said, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry.
No worries, Mr. Kelly. Your Honor, as I indicated, the concerns that they could file a reply to
Heather.
defendants answered our complaint for termination. Did. And in our reply, we did set forth several deficiencies in the answer, as well as the additional grounds on which plaintiff has to terminate Mr. Kelly's tenancy. The most serious of those additional grounds is based on revocation of Mr. Kelly's driver's license in 2022. Has most certainly, over the last 2 years, been driving his car in the community, presumably without a driver's license. And the rules and regulations in the community that Mr. Kelly is required to abide do indicate that violation of statute or any ordinance, local, federal, is grounds to terminate the tenancy. It's driving in the community without a license, violation of statute, or violation of the lease agreement. And for that reason, I don't believe there's a tribal act here. And I do believe plaintiff is entitled to a judgment of possession.
Your response, Mr. Kelly.
Your Honor, none of that was brought up in the initial complaint back in July. I mean, so she hasn't brought up one thing that the original complaint stated. So, you know, I don't know where the laws come in as far as my license and everything, but
Pardon?
I say I don't know where the laws lie as far as I haven't researched anything in the Michigan state statute or the community guidelines that mentions anything about driver's license. You know, that's because this is the first I've been accused of that. I mean, it's all the first time it was brought up, and that recently happened, and I don't have to own my car anymore. So,
What recently happened?
That my car was taken away or impounded, not impounded, repo. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I may reply to that. Your Honor, our reply to defendant's answer does set forth the ongoing grounds listed in the original demand for possession, which Mr. Kelly failed to respond to several of those. In his answer, Your Honor, very vague responses to the complaint for possession. 1, 2, Mr.
Yeah, as a Bengals fan, we are not going to take credit for that at all. That was the turf. That turf got him. No, you guys wanted him out as your quarterback so badly that you guys put in a bad spot on the turf intentionally. That's what happened. So the Browns took him out, not the Bengals.
Kelly does not respond to the claims that he's parking on the lawn, that he's been disturbing other residents, and that he has verbally abused the threat management and their personnel. Doesn't respond to that at all in the complaint or in his answer. He makes no statement in support of his claim of retaliatory eviction. The original demand for possession, Your Honor, does state that we would rely on those being specifically delineated, but it also indicates that it would rely on any other violations that it becomes aware of. At the time that this demand was issued, plaintiff was unaware of some ongoing issues with Mr. Kelly not having a driver's license. And so now the plaintiff is aware of those, they are going to be relied upon in this case.
I did respond to those as calling them false. I mean, there isn't one statement there. I didn't know if that should have been brought up with my answer or brought up in the trial. Negate those accusations properly. Because they don't stand up to the truth. None of them. So I did state that in the answer.
Your Honor, the Michigan Court Rules MCR 2.111A require a clear and concise answer. The same rule, subsection D, requires the defendant to state the substance of the matter he's going to rely upon in defending a complaint filed against him. 2.111F requires defenses to be pleaded. It also indicates that allegations that aren't addressed are deemed as admitted. Because Mr. Kelly did not specifically, he doesn't make any specific statements at all regarding the claims against him. Again, a vague assertion that they're false, but how are they false? There is nothing in his answer to support his claim that these allegations are false.
I did go through each step that they were claiming and disagreed with them. I mean, I thought that's what the answer was supposed to be as far as the state guidelines and the community guidelines. I didn't know I had to choose one. I thought that would be brought up in trial when I could bring evidence.
No, sir. That's not how it works.
If I just answered that these aren't true, each one, yes, I mean, I don't.
Well, you have to specifically lay out what your answer is, not just some general denial of everything.
Well, I don't see anything true about it. It's, it's under the guise of upon information and belief, which is, it's just hearsay when the bottom line. So I didn't, I don't have a lawyer. I can't even afford a lawyer. So I'm trying to do it myself, Your Honor. But all that, I have phone numbers and all kinds of things that you can call if you want to verify my reputation as a decent human being.
When did you stop driving? How long has it been since you haven't driven a vehicle?
I'm getting my license back to the state for quite a while. I don't have any means to get to one.
So you haven't been driving for how long?
It's probably 2017.
So you've not driven a vehicle since that time?
Take the fifth on that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I got pulled over I went to Bush's. It was for an emergency. I have a daughter at home, stays with me off and on. And as far as that goes,
You got pulled over in Saline. Yeah.
I was driving that day just to go to Bush's.
In August.
To get groceries, yeah.
In August, right?
Yes, in August. I'm a senior citizen on a fixed income, and it's very hard to. Everybody wants lawyers or money, and I just don't have it.
You really haven't stated anything here. You say that they're retaliating. You've not stated anything regarding a retaliatory eviction.
Well, the reason I didn't, Your Honor, was because I thought that would be brought up in trial. I'd be happy to.
No, sir.
Well, okay, I could talk about it now. I mean,
That's not how this works, Mr. Kelly.
What do you want me to go through each one, even though they're false claims? I mean, I don't know how to do anything else except deny that what they're saying is not true. Now, the retaliation came the day after Miss Smith and I got into a little scuff on the phone, and the next day I have a big thing on my door saying that I'm gonna be evicted. There's false allegations there that I can very easily prove wrong. One, I've never ever threatened an employee or her in any way,
Mr. Kelly,
shape, or fashion.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
If I set this for a trial and you lose, you're out in 10 days. You know
I'm
that.
out 10 days anyway, from what I understand.
What?
If I defaulted or you judge for the plaintiff or side with the plaintiff, I thought only had 10 days anyway. What? Is that true?
Yeah, it's 10 days under the statute.
Well, that's another reason that I feel I have to take it to trial. I mean, my outside of my house is perfect, but the inside needs a little work. And if I was going to sell it, I'd take a huge loss on that. If I had to get out in 10 days, find somewhere to live. I have a dog there. I've been there since 2017, Your Honor. This is the third corporation that's owned it or managed it. I wasn't written up once in those first.
Mr. Kelly, what do you want to do? They don't want you there.
I want to save my house. I want to stay there. I mean, I retired. I put everything I had into that house. I paid my life savings to buy that free and clear so I wouldn't have a mortgage payment.
All right, could someone explain this to me? How is he claiming the house is his, but he's getting evicted? I don't understand this. So, is he a tenant or is he not a tenant? Is it his house or is it not his house? There's some confusion here that I'm not getting.
I mean, I was planning on dying in Saline, you know, I mean, there. And it's in a trust. It's in a trust beneficiary, Your Honor, for my daughter. It's the only thing I have to leave for her. She's a disabled minority. She doesn't have anything that's going to be left to her except that house. And that's my plan, is to leave it to her. And I don't know, you know, between Pamela and I, we used to get along great. I mean, I haven't been able to even speak to her, so I just don't. I'm kind of confused as to, she knows my situation. She knows my daughter. She's fed my dog when my dog comes up here. We had a good relationship, and all of a sudden she doesn't even want to talk about it. So I feel that it's awfully extreme. I mean, I cut the lawn for 4 older women there in the neighborhood. I have everyone around me.
Mr. Kelly.
I just think I'm not the type of man they're making me out to be, Your Honor. How else can I come here and
Well, your pleadings are bad, and I could frankly find that I don't have a tribal issue and grant them a judgment today.
Sorry, Your Honor. Could you repeat that? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Your pleadings and your filings are bad. They're missing all kinds of things. It doesn't present to me an issue that I could even try at this point.
Well, I can't even keep up with the paperwork between the monetary things that I get every month. I mean, I've been going to court. I've been before you for the last 6 months. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all their pages. I apologize, but I didn't know that, you know, I can't afford a lawyer. I'm trying to do the best I can. I thought that I could, you know, I can bring you evidence of negating some of that stuff in trial. I didn't, you know, if you want me to answer that and give you
I told you to answer before, and I don't have it. Actually, I told you, I think, twice.
Well, you do have it, Your Honor, because you found it at the last hearing. We took a recess because you didn't have it, but then the court clerk.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your answers is wholly deficient.
Okay, I apologize. I was up all night. I don't know, really. I'm not an attorney, so I thought by just telling you that, I mean, I don't know how to answer. Some of those aren't accurate to the facts, so I didn't know if you wanted me to just state without any evidence to, you know, to negate their claims. I didn't think, you needed me to just say, what went on there because I couldn't bring you any proof of it. So I didn't know that. I can present evidence and all of that if you give me time.
What would you present to this court, Mr. Kelly?
Well, I could present the fact that the claims that they filed are false. For instance, the car on the lawn, the threatening of the employees. I don't have all of them in front of me, but I could prove that those aren't true. And there's been other write-ups that through the.
Suppose you have a photo.
I do. I have a photo. It's his mother-in-law's car. It was towed last year after many months and notices that the car needed to be removed.
What,
My understanding, Mr. Kelly, please let me finish, is that when the tow company came out to remove it, he threatened the tow company. Now, I'm still trying
that's
to.
a lie. That is a lie, and I can prove it wrong because I spoke to the Mayflower towing guy, and he denied that he ever said that. In fact, Ms. Smith said that he told her that
Take a look.
he told her that I told him.
Hey, what's up, Tupac? Good to see you. All right, you can see that this guy is already having an issue with, only talking when it's his turn. All right, I don't drop this enough anymore, but it's about to go down.
Young. Yeah, what is this? The car? I'm not denying the car. I'm denying that the fact what they said.
Mr. Kelly, you just
gave me permission, Your Honor, for that car to be on the grass. She knew that it was my ex-wife's mother's car, and she just passed away, and she didn't have anywhere to put it. And I had it on my driveway, leaking a little oil, so I just moved it. So I repaired that lawn, and it's a beautiful looking car if you saw it, but she was aware of it. Now, there was some controversy the day that it got towed because I was asking her to please wait because my ex had called me and she called.
If she gave you permission, why would they have it towed?
Because it took.
Why would they have it towed? If
What
what you said, Mr. Kelly, if it's true that they gave you permission to have it there, why would they have it towed?
It was, Your Honor, I could prove that it was.
See, answer my question.
It was towed because it had come to the point where it was on the lawn. It was there too long. And she said that she stamped the car. The car was there for a year, Your Honor, on that lawn for a year. And then she put a tag on the car, and that's when we started negotiating. And I called my ex and told her, you got to get this car out of here. They want it out, and it's going to be towed. That was when it came to that point.
Mr. Kelly.
But it was on the lawn
Mr.
for
Kelly.
a year, Your Honor.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
You told me 3 different things about this car. You're telling me that they gave you permission to have it on there.
Yes.
So how long, presuming they gave you permission, how long were they allowing you to keep it on the property?
There wasn't any set time. It was there. I kept the lawn up. I always whipped around the car. I cut the lawn. When the car was
I
gone,
didn't ask you about the lawn.
I repaired the lawn.
I didn't ask you about the lawn.
There wasn't anything in writing or set. It just came to the point where it was there too long. Like I said, Pam and I got along fine. And then it was getting to the point, look, that car has been on there, or the car has been sitting there for too long. It didn't have proper plates. And that's when she.
Yeah, I had a friend that he owned a house and he let his brother stay with him. And his brother always parked on the front yard. Just the way that their house was kind of in a back nook. The grass, because of all the trees, was just kind of dirt anyways, so they didn't care. But they got ticketed from the city for it because it's not zoned for as a parking spot, so they got in trouble for it. But yeah, I didn't know that would actually cause an issue. But this was also 15 years ago, so yeah. But you can get in trouble for it.
They put a tag on it, and they gave me 10 days to get it out of there.
And did you?
I was on my ex-wife. Yes, she was in the process of getting it. And I was on I had no,
You talk in so
I
many
had no.
circles, Mr. Kelly.
I'm not talking in circles.
You absolutely are.
You're asking me what happened and I'm telling you.
I didn't ask you what happened. I'm asking you very specific questions and you're not answering.
I'm telling you.
You take off going in another
I
direction.
didn't have anywhere to put.
Why do I care whether you weed whipped around the car?
I guess you don't.
I don't. I didn't ask you that.
Well, they're making it out like my property's a junk pile, and it isn't. It's one of the nicest kept up yards in the area.
Did I ask you that?
I'm sorry.
First off, there's nothing in any of our pleadings in any way, shape, or form alleging that his site looks like a junk pile. So no, that is absolutely false. Your Honor, I have here a rule violation issued December 30th, 2022, no parking on the lawn. A rule violation issued on January 12th, 2023, no parking on the lawn. There is a note that they also emailed him about the dog being outside on a tie-out, also a violation of the rules and regulations, and the vehicle being on the lawn. On 2/1, he called and said he will remove the car within 1 week. On 2/16, the car was tagged. I don't know the exact date that it was towed offhand, Your Honor, but April 23rd, Your Honor. So many months after all of this. So Mr. Kelly had ample time to remove the car, and he didn't.
My ex was speaking with Miss Smith, and it was kind of between them at that point.
No.
I'm talking about the last. You can ask her. My ex talked to her. They were
Mr. Kelly.
They were talking
Mr.
back
Kelly.
and forth. Her mother died here.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
They told you to get the car off the lawn.
And
They told you you were in violation.
And I
You
did.
did nothing.
I did get it. It was towed.
Who told him?
Mayflower.
Yeah, I was very preemptive on when I said it's about to go down. I forgot that this hearing was a half hour, so we're almost there now. I'm not going to say it again in case it's 10 minutes away from now, but we're getting close. Judge Simpson's, yeah, it's about to get real good, real interesting.
Our towing.
Okay.
At that point, I said,
Bad question.
I said,
You want to know what?
I was trying to save
This
my
is why-
ex some money.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
you're never going to overtalk me.
I'm not trying. to.
No, you are.
Just seems like I. Just a man trying to save my house, Your Honor.
Mr. Kelly, you told me about that vehicle. I just take that. What they told me is what Ms. Dornbush laid out. You weren't telling me the truth.
I am telling you the truth.
No, you're not. Why would she give you permission to park on the lawn and then send you a notice that you're in violation?
Because Your Honor, I can give you proof of when the car was there and when it was towed.
Listen to my question.
It was over.
Listen to my question.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Mr. Kelly, you better check that attitude right now. You better check it.
I'm not trying.
You better check it, Mr. Kelly. Oh, don't. Oh, no.
I don't know
Oh,
what
no.
I'm doing wrong. Your Honor.
Here's one thing that you've done wrong.
Please tell me.
Here's one thing that you've done wrong.
What?
I am not going to have that attitude coming from you.
I don't.
You need to figure out what you're doing. You have interrupted me throughout these entire proceedings. I'm not going to have it. Outside of the fact you've got a warrant for your arrest.
I apologize. Your Honor.
You've got a warrant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's from the driving while license suspended.
I didn't.
So here's what we're going to do.
Sorry.
Just so happens the judge is in front of his next door. But right now you're going to go into custody. We're going to take you in. I'm going to go next door, talk to Judge Freshour, see what she wants me to do with you.
Please, Your Honor, I have a gun. I need to wait.
What did I just say?
I just checked with the court about a warrant.
Court's going to stay in a brief recess. I'll be right back.
All right, here's a question. Do you think that Judge Simpson was going to take him into custody for that warrant the entire time? Or was he, if they got through this hearing, he would have just said, hey, can you please go take care of your warrant? You have a warrant in this courthouse. Do you think that would have happened? So he used the warrant as a form of contempt? What do you guys think? That's what I think happened. I think, you know what? I don't have to hold him in contempt. He has a warrant. So we'll just arrest him right now. Okay. We still have 2 more parts to this.
Kelly. River Ridge versus Kelly. I had to check with Judge Freshour. We will be releasing Mr. Kelly not until 1 o'clock today. I'm not going to hold you guys here. What I will do is I'll set this, Ms. Dornbush, if you're available for a non-jury trial on the 30th. Will that work?
There might be something going on.
Just doing that so you have to come back and see us.
Your Honor, we don't mind coming back at 1 if Your Honor wants to do that, but I mean, if it's for the purpose of doing a bench trial, we don't have all of our witnesses that we.
Right, and I think I'm gonna do a bench trial, let him bring what he wants in and
Should get our witnesses together.
all right.
So the
October 30th, 2024 at 9. Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
thank you. Sorry about the wait. We were trying to. What else? Oh. I see to show up. Hi. Can we hold that for this afternoon? Because the printout is in there for Mr. Kelly.
All right, fast forward to part 3. Yeah, this is only about 2 minutes long, so we're almost finished with this clip.
Court does call the case of the people of City of Saline versus Timothy Kelly. State your name, sir. State your name, sir.
Timothy Kelly?
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
what I'm going to do is this. You don't have $100, do you?
No, but I could come up with it. But no, sir, I don't today. On me.
All right. I'm going to arraign you. You do have a bench warrant out of the City of Saline for failure to appear on a driving while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. I don't have much information on it. I'll say that the offense date was August 16, 2024. You understand that, sir?
Yes, I didn't know about the warrant. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
So I'm going to set this for arraignment and pretrial for November 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. That's before Judge Freshour in the City of Saline, 1484 District Court. You understand that?
Yeah, that's the one on the other courthouse?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I know where that's at, I believe. Across from the library.
I'll set bond in this case as a personal recognizance, $1,000. All right, so I'm gonna let you go.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. And I meant no disrespect. I'm sorry.
On your other case, I have set your trial date. You need to have all your witnesses and everybody present. I've set that for October 30th, 2024 at 9 a.m. this
Right.
location.
That's in a week. Okay.
Great,
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. I apologize.
Judge
Yeah, one more.
Judge Simpson didn't acknowledge a word Mr. Kelly said. Nothing. Didn't say, okay, it's fine. Nothing. Nothing. Didn't say, watch yourself next time. Be respectful. Didn't. Was great. You could. Judge Simpson was big man. Okay, let's move on. Before I move on, what is up with? You know what? That would have been in bad taste. So I'm gonna keep my comment to myself. All right. Next one, Judge Norbeck. We have a Karen, and every time I say we have a Karen, half the people say that's not a Karen. I don't know. I think I got this one right.
All right, on the Samsung, you want to take yourself off mute? Tell me your name, please. Or we'll pop you back over in the waiting room because you're not next anyway. All right. This is a citation that was issued on, looks like September 18th of this year on Wildwood Road there in Orangeville Township, Berry County. I'm assuming Patterson. All right, so that's right on the line. This is failure to stop for a school bus civil infraction. So, ma'am, you are here on this citation to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation as to how or why this happened. Or three, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, to fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want the ticket because I didn't do anything wrong.
You don't think that was your ticket I was just reading to you the whole time? Where it happened, what it was, when it happened? That didn't sound familiar to you? So you want to fight the ticket?
Yes, please.
All right. Deputy, are you waiting for an additional witness, or are you able to testify yourself?
I could testify myself. Mr. Avery, I believe he was the Samsung. I just texted him. He said he got kicked out.
Yeah, I'm bringing him back in. That's who I assume that might be. So we'll just wait till they are. Now they're up and running. All right, on the Samsung, your name, please.
My name is Richard Avery.
All right. So first thing I'm going to do is swear everybody in. Everybody want to raise their right hands, please. Mr. Avery and Miss Peak. This is your ticket, Miss Peak. Miss Peak, do you understand what's happening right now?
I don't know. I'm at court.
Yes. And didn't I just ask you to raise your right hand like everyone else is raising their right hand?
I didn't know you were asking me to do that. I thought you were talking to who? I don't know who I thought you were talking to.
Okay, ma'am. There are three people in court: the bus driver, the police officer, and you, the person with the ticket. You just said you want to fight the ticket, so we're going to have a hearing. So now I'm swearing in everybody who's going to testify. I need you to raise your right hand.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Last
Do you
time
swear
I
or
did
affirm
court,
that
there
any
was a lot of
testimony
people
you
in
give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
And Miss Peak. All right. Miss Peak, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the officer. They have the burden to establish to me why you were issued a citation in the first place. But then after that, you'll have the opportunity to either ask questions or testify on your own behalf. With that, Deputy, you want to pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense, explain the issuing of this citation?
Yes, Your Honor. So on 9/8, and I apologize for background noise. I am at Martin High School. And, it's passing hour. On 9/18 of 24, at approximately 7:27 hours, I was informed by Martin Public School bus driver Richard Avery that a red Dodge Journey bearing Michigan registration EFL 912 on the same direction westbound on Wildwood near the intersection of Patterson. He informed me via the school radio of the direction of travel. I attempted to locate the vehicle. That vehicle with that registration is registered to Savannah Peak. I was unable to locate the vehicle at that time. I did call her by telephone number, which was provided in our CAD system. On 9/25, she did return my call. We spoke about the incident. She did admit to driving her red journey that day, and that she did pass a bus near the Shelbyville area. She indicated at first that she had passed the bus because yellow flashers were on. Then later, speaking with her, she admitted to passing the bus with the red lights on.
I never admitted to that. I never said I passed it with the lights on.
Ma'am, this is not your turn. Like I said, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions or testify on your own behalf later. Please.
Yep, she stated that she passed the bus on red lights and that there was not a stop sign out. Then later admitted that she passed the bus after she saw the last child enter or get onto the bus. There was approximately 7 children that got onto the bus at that stop, so it was a little longer stop. I did review surveillance footage of the incident. We have surveillance footage on the bus. It's not a red stop sign camera, it's interior. So it shows the lights that are activated above the driver's head, and it does show headlights of a vehicle that stops at the rear of the vehicle of the bus, and then passes right as one of the students is still not on the bus, and the red lights were indicating that they were on.
Nope.
I did inform Miss Peak by telephone on 9/26 that I would be issuing her a citation for failing to stop at a red bus or a bus. She indicated that she would not accept the ticket, hung up on me while we were talking on the telephone. I then attempted to make contact with her at her home in Berry County. I was informed by her mother-in-law that she had left the home on Miller Road to attempt contact with me. She was issued citation SD 170918 by certified mail.
Okay. Ms. Peak, do you have any questions for the deputy at this time? You'll be testifying. You'll be testifying at a later moment. This is for you to ask questions of the deputy.
Yeah, I do got a question. Why are you lying on my stepmom? Because my stepmom did not say that. I went to my sister's house to help with her sick child. I never tried to avoid
not
nobody.
A question, Ms. Peak.
Yes,
You're
it is, because I'm asking him, why is he lying on my stepmom? She never said that. We have cameras all in our house. She never said that.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions for the deputy?
Yeah, why did he lie? Why is he lying? If he's an officer of the state, why is he lying? That's illegal. He should not be lying.
Ma'am, that's not a real question. I'm not going to have him answer that. Do you have any further questions for the deputy?
I get in trouble for lying, so why is he not getting in trouble for lying?
Okay, ma'am. We're going to move
on.
Mr.
I did not pass the bus
Avery.
with the kid out. I know there was no kids out. I did stop.
Ms. Peak,
they did not have a stop
talking.
sign out. They need to have a stop sign out if you're not
Ms.
allowed
Peak,
to pass.
That's not true at all. Stop talking.
Yes, it is. I've looked it
Mr.
up.
Avery,
yes, it is.
What would you like to
He
say?
has to have a stop sign out. Yes, he does. He absolutely does too have to have a stop sign out.
If you don't stop talking,
not have a stop sign out.
I'm going to mute you, ma'am. So now nobody can hear you, so you can keep going if you want. But you should be able to hear still. Will you please give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, right?
Oh,
you can't hear me anymore, ma'am?
She is huffing and puffing right now. She's like, I'm not even going to listen to you, Judge. I'm not giving you a thumbs up. We're only halfway done. This gets so much better.
Mr. Avery, what is it you'd like to tell me?
I will give you my recap of the morning. Pardon me, of the stop. So prior to me leaving with the bus, I fill out a pre-trip inspection form verifying that everything is working. I note any deficiencies. I didn't note any deficiencies that day for that particular trip. As I pulled up to the house, it's the.
This is the bus driver. So because the officer didn't see her do this, the bus driver called the officer over the radio and said, I just got pulled over by this car. Or I just got passed by this, or this car went around me. Here's the license plate. And the officer attempted to get contact. Because the officer didn't see this happen, they brought in the bus driver as a witness.
Ema's house. There are many kids, so it is a bit of a longer stop. I sent I wouldn't be able to share the image with you, but this morning at about that time, I took a picture from the driver's perspective. That way it would be viewable exactly what I see looking towards the house. As I pull up, as Deputy Klein said, there are roughly 7 kids that get on and off. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes right at there. There's a very large tree in the front of the yard that obstructs the view from the road to the main entrance door, also the kitchen window. So it's impossible for, it really is very challenging to tell if all the children are finished getting on. Oftentimes I have to wait for a minute or ask one of the other kids, hey, is everybody on? Let's double check, make sure, because oftentimes the smaller ones come running out because they take a little bit longer to get on the bus. But I proceeded to the stop. I kicked my yellow student stop lights on before I got as I got within about 200 feet of the driveway. Once I reached the driveway, I hit my red student stop lights. My red stop sign kicked out on the driver's side. It has a flashing light on the top. It has a flashing light on the bottom. I also have red indicator lights on the top. In the video that's available, you can see that those are on by looking just above the driver's head and to the left. You'll see them flashing in the background. I did certify that day that everything was working. The vehicle pulled up behind me with the high beams on, and they came up behind me, and before everybody was on, I'm talking, ma'am. You'll have your turn to ask me any questions that you like, and I will gladly respect your time.
Mr. Avery, please don't address Ms. Peak directly. I do wrangle it a little bit for you, but Ms. Peak, again, this is his turn to speak. You're going to have an opportunity to ask. Ms. Peak, if you say one more thing, I'm just going to make a ruling, and this hearing's going to be over. And you won't even have an opportunity. All right, we're done. You can go in the waiting room. Mr. Avery, essentially.
Yeah, I thought he was actually going to end the hearing there. He doesn't. You can go in the waiting room. I'm done. I'm going to just issue my ruling. I don't know what stopped him. I think he had every right to do it. I think he just muted her instead. I think that's what happened.
I am with you right to where you said you're at.
Right. So the gist of it is, oh, sorry, sir. So I pulled up, all my lights and flashers, my student stop sign was working, the kids were getting on the bus, and the car blew by me. My stop sign was still out, my red flashers were still on, there were still students up. If anybody says that, and I drove by this house on 4 different occasions in my personal vehicle because I wanted to get the perspective from car level to see if you could tell if the kids were getting on or not. Not like it matters because my red lights were on, but I just wanted to see what their perspective would be. And you just can't tell, especially not knowing if all the kids are on or not. You just can't tell. And the video will show you the vehicle was parked to the left of center of the bus, obstructing the view that you have to make sure the kids are all on. But
let me ask you this: were you able to get the license plate from watching a video afterwards, or in real time as it happened?
Nope. As it happened, the video shows that I verbalized the license plate, and then I broke out, and then I documented it. And if I'm not mistaken, the student immediately behind me and to my right documented it also, because I always I say it out loud, and I ask the kids to document license plates of anybody that blows our red lights. But at the time that it happened, I stopped and I reached out and communicated per our parameters.
And then I'm assuming you never actually had any interaction with that driver.
No, sir, I did not.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Peak, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak on your own behalf next. But right now, because Mr. Avey just testified, is your opportunity, if you have any direct questions for him or we can just move on to you testifying. Either way. What would you like to do?
I want to know why people are lying on me. He did not have a stop sign out, and I did not
Then,
blow past
ma'am,
him. I was probably
ma'am,
going 10 miles an
All
hour.
right,
If
ma'am. Okay, listen. So now the testimony against you is done. It would be your opportunity then to tell me your version of events. Here's what I want to tell you. Whether or not there's a stop sign is not necessary. Most buses don't have the stop sign. It's simply that you shouldn't even pass a bus on yellow, but certainly not on their red lights. So I just don't want you to get hung up on the stop sign thing, although there is testimony that the stop sign was out. But what is it you would like to tell me of why you should not be found responsible on this citation?
All right, it's her turn to talk. What do you think she's gonna say? Any guesses? How many times is she gonna say that these two are lying? Let's see a counter.
Go ahead.
For one, I looked up the law. You need to have a stop sign and the red lights out. You need both. You have to have both. It's in the law book. I looked it up. I read it. It's in the law book. You need to have both. I did not notice that they were red stop lights. I never ever once said, oh yeah, he had red lights on and I passed. I never said that. I said he did not have a red stop sign out, so I thought it was okay to pass. I came to a stop. I looked. I seen the kid get on the bus. I waited. He got on the bus. There was no kids running in and out of the house, none of that. So I slowly went past him. I did not zoom past nobody. I did not speed. I don't speed down that road because there's always two dogs, a little Boston Terrier and a yellow lab or something that are always darting out in that road. I do not speed down that road. I take that road all the time. I did not zoom past him. I will be getting a dash cam from now on.
All right. So after hearing all the evidence, I do find that you are responsible on this citation and that you clearly passed the bus when you are not allowed to. You do have a right.
Stop sign out or have his license revoked. He should not be driving a bus for picking up children.
That's not true at all. All right.
I want his bus driver name and number.
I'm going to say this real quick because I doubt I'm going to be able to.
I'm calling and reporting him to the school. I don't want my kids on his bus.
I doubt I'm going to be able to get a word in here, but to appeal this, you must do that within 7 days of today's date. Your rights to appeal this to formal hearing in front of the district court judges with the prosecutor's office ends after 7 days. And 2, you must come in person and post a cash bond in the same amount as the fine to guarantee your appearance at formal hearing. Do you understand your rights on appeal?
No. What is a bond? I'm going to jail for this?
Okay. No, ma'am. But if you wish to contest this further to formal hearing, you must come in and you must turn over $200 to the clerk's office to guarantee your appearance at formal hearing, a bond. Then you could have a formal hearing, but you must do that within 7 days of today's date. Otherwise, my ruling that you are responsible on this ticket would be the final ruling. All right?
Do I get
I'm going to go ahead and release everybody. We're all set.
Are you going to answer me? Hello?
What is your question, ma'am?
Do I get the money back?
If you were to show up at formal hearing, yes. And then if you were to be found not responsible at formal hearing, yes. If another judge were to find differently than I did. Ma'am, at this point, you can go ahead and call the clerk's office to.
So I'm ununderstanding. I don't understand, and I'm trying to understand. But you won't answer me, or you keep talking over me when I'm trying to ask you a question.
Okay, ma'am. At this point, you can call the clerk's office, and they will explain to you how to appeal. But make sure you do it within 7 days of today's date.
I'll take ununderstanding for 500. Ununderstanding. Are you going to leave this call while I'm ununderstanding? That's my new favorite word. Can we put that word? We got to figure out a way to use that word. I know it's not a real word, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
Or your appeal time will be over. Thank you. Gentlemen, it's a traffic ticket. Sorry about that. Some people are difficult. Officer is used to that. Mr. Avery, that's not really how it's supposed to go. Thank you. I appreciate you for the job that you do.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye, gentlemen.
Bye.
Are you ununderstanding what I'm saying? All right. All right. We're moving on to the last clip, guys. That one was good. A lot of yelling. This next one is Judge Gonzalez, Judge Rosie, Rosie Speedling Gonzalez. Now, this one's a little difficult just because there is a defendant with special needs, and you know what? I don't want to say anything else. This isn't a trigger warning type of thing. Nothing bad happens, but I just feel like this entire situation could have been handled better. So I guess that's the trigger warning for this evening. For this clip is, yeah. Okay, let's just go.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a hearing?
Yes, Sybil, we're only going to address the court on the change of bond conditions. We're in agreement on the travel permission.
Okay, thank you.
I very may well be ununderstanding the context of this video. This is true. This is true. You guys all might think, what's the big deal with this? And I'm sitting here like, oh man, could happen.
Mr. Piddle, do you have anybody that's going to come in like a Carrie Barnett?
Yes, Carrie Barnett is the complainant spouse.
Okay, and then we have an iPhone Nana in the waiting room.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, we won't bring them in until you call them in.
Okay.
As a witness. Thank you.
Okay, Olga, let's get on the record in a case that has not been filed. It's case number 2024 PF 16408. Mr. Piddle filed a writ, and that is writ number 4143. Can I get announcements from the attorneys, please?
Jordan Sims for the state of Texas.
And Kelly Piddle from Maddox Ponce, and we're ready.
And I believe, Mr. Piddle, that you have conferred with the state, and there are some agreements that need to be put on the record, but we also have matters that need to be resolved by the court. So who wants to put the agreements on the record?
I will, Your Honor.
Okay.
The state and defense have agreed to the travel permissions for defendant, and all that needs to be addressed before the court is the changing of bond conditions.
Okay. And Mr. Piddle, the court will hear from you first as the moving party. And Mr. Ponce, you'll hear your attorney maybe call witnesses or put evidence, other types of evidence on. We'll hear your side first, but the state has equal access to the court, and they'll be allowed to address the court with any concerns or other matters they want the court to consider before we rule on this motion. Kelly, the floor is yours.
Judge, we call Carrie Barnett, K-A-R-I-B-A-R-N-E-T-T.
Carrie Barnett, can you please bring her in from the breakout room?
Mr. Ponce, are you doing something with your mouth?
He's not doing anything, man.
I think he's like Sabrina's people, Marie.
Okay, he relaxed. Okay, what's he doing, Kelly? He seems to pucker up and then relax, pucker up
Judge,
and relax.
I think he's special.
He's special needs, Judge. So
Okay.
We're just
All right.
difference.
Have you done a competency request?
Not yet, Judge. I'm asking that we can get this resolved first, and then we're going to explore that avenue.
Okay. All right. Ms. Barnett,
I don't agree with that. If there's a competency issue, it needs to be addressed. I don't know why they're going over bond conditions to amend bond conditions without discussing the competency issue first. Just saying. That's just my opinion. I'm guessing it's allowed because the judge allows it, but it doesn't make sense to me.
I do need to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give? Ms. Barnett, are you?
They're both judging the same house. So she needs to, you need to turn the volume off on his or yours, on one of yours. No audio.
You're in the same room with either Mr. Piddle or Mr. Ponce. Which one is it, Ms. Barnett?
Mr. Ponce.
You're in the same room with Mr. Ponce and there's a no contact order?
Let me turn this down.
Is that what I just heard?
Your Honor, I was told that there was a modification in place and that was approved, that was okay.
I don't know who approved it because I didn't approve it, and this court does not look kindly on that.
Okay.
I'm going to stop this proceeding now, Kelly. We don't do this thing backwards.
Okay.
I'm not very pleased with this. Y'all figure it out. I'm not approving this today because what this tells me today is that there's going to be a way to circumvent my order no matter what I order because they just did it today. Okay. He needs to settle down. We're not going to have this proceeding, Kelly. He needs to calm down. I understand his special needs.
I'm not happy.
Okay. I'm not going to address you, Mr. Ponce. You need to be quiet. Your attorney's trying to get some things done for you, and you need to allow him to try to do that. We're going to stop this proceeding. Kelly, I need you to understand this court cannot tolerate people circumventing my orders and believing that someone approved them when they didn't. Any change in that order. That's why we're having this hearing. So we're stopping today. I don't know what you need to do, Kelly, but when they come in, they're in violation right now.
Okay, Judge, we will address them. We'll refile.
You don't need to refile. I think you
need to have it heard. But I mean, if you're not going to hear it today, I need another date. So
well, either that or they're going to file a violation on him on the bond. I'm trying to allow you the time to resolve their non-compliance with the bond conditions right now as I see it. And I don't like rewarding people because that's what it's going to be for violating these orders. There's a reason why there's a no contact order. I don't know that reason. I didn't issue it. It's at the MAGs, right? We have a standing order.
Correct.
That MAG could have done a no harmful or injurious contact at that point, and they didn't. So I'm not going to reward violations of the conditions, Mr. Piddle. And I know it's not you. It's not you at all. But they need to understand it, and that's going to take a conversation with them, especially if Mr. Ponce thinks he can come in here and act out. I understand what you said to me, Kelly, but he can't come in here and start to want to engage with me and yell like he was yelling on camera and act the way he was acting on camera, because that wouldn't be tolerated in the courtroom. You don't have to like it, Mr. Ponce. The power dynamic here is very, very offset. You can act out all you want. All it's going to give me is enough information about your behavior to rule. We are recessing today's hearing, and we will resume the hearing on another day when Mr. Piddle's had enough time to speak to Ms. Barnett and Mr. Ponce.
Minutes, please. Minutes, please.
Carrie, mute yourself, please.
We're done. We're done, Kelly. This matter is concluded. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this is what I think just happened. I think that the Mrs. Barnett is probably some kind of caregiver. I don't know, maybe even the mother of the special needs gentleman. I don't know. Obviously, we don't have any details. But there was a no contact order, and she may be one of the few people that can calm him down. I don't know. And I think the attorney was going to think that the judge was going to be lenient because of the special needs, and she wasn't. And I think that's why he was kind of snapping at her and giving her attitude towards the end. And then he just dipped. He just hung up while everyone else is still on the Zoom call. This was tough. And this is why I said I wish this was handled a little bit better, kind of on everyone's part. I don't think the judge had to be that the way she was just because of who the defendant is. Normally I would say, yeah, terrible part, but yeah, but I don't have all the details, so I shouldn't really be making opinions. I'm just going to say all around, I think this was handled pretty poorly. All right. That's all I got tonight, guys. I am ending us a little bit early. I mean, we still went for an hour, but I'm ending a little bit early. Lone Wolf is starting a new kind of gig tonight, so we're going to go raid him. He's doing he's going to start doing like a Fleischer, what is he called? The Fleischer Forum or something like that. So we're going to jump over there and say hi to him. So let's go check that out. Let's see what he's doing with the Judge Fleischer content. So we're gonna jump over there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Oh, you know what? Cheshire Cat, I never called you out. Thank you so much. I should send that back to you as my late fee. But Cheshire Cat, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, bud. Okay. All right, we're headed to Lone Wolf, and yeah, you guys all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow. You know what? I gotta set it up still. If I hit play, it's just gonna end, and we're not going anywhere. All right, here we go. Set up. All right. We're good. We're good to go. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow. I'm trying to think of what's potentially on my schedule for tomorrow. I don't know. It's the 23rd. You know what? I'll just look real quick. Give you guys an update. Nope, I didn't cross off Martin for today. Eric Martin's jury trial is next week. That's exciting. But no, I've got nothing on the calendar for tomorrow. Did get a lot of good stuff today, though. So we'll be packed tomorrow, even if tomorrow's a slow day. Wednesdays are generally kind of slow in the court world, but maybe we'll get lucky. Okay. You guys have a great night. Tell Lone Wolf I sent you, and tell him I said hi. Yeah, that's all I got. Until next time, bye.
Get him off.